Oh, hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers, Blowers, and Guns. Welcome to another episode. As you guys know from my previous episode, this is my New York State compliant 9mm AR platform, an AR-9 from Moriarty Arms. This is my first gun that I ever bought, first rifle actually. As you can see, 9mm. It's very accurate, and this is my CQB weapon, my self-defense weapon. This is the first thing I grab when I hear a bump in the night. So I bought this about a year ago. When I got it, it was black. And the first sight that I got for it was obviously the Magpul front sight, iron sights. And then with the progression of the trends, I got myself a Romeo 5 from Sig Sauer. It was rated one of the best, somewhat budget, but very accurate red dots. Then from the progression of that and all the trends, I dumped the red dot and I got myself an LPVO, a first focal plane one, which I had on here too. And as a CQB weapon, it's kind of overkill, you know what I mean? You want quick acquisition of the target. Quick. Once you see it, boom, go back to sleep again. So having an LPVO on a self-defense weapon really isn't very efficient. A red dot or a laser with a flashlight combination is what you need, because once you have your finger on this switch, you can see the green dot right away, acquire your target and fire. You know? So I recently did a super cheapo $20 red dot here from Hiram. This actually looks like it's pretty good for $20, you know? So I figured, you know what? I missed that Romeo 5 so much that I'm gonna go buy it again. But this time, I'm buying something much better. Because my favorite color is dark earth, field dark earth, taupe, FDE, burnt bronze, that kind of thing. It also mixes very well with ODG green. So I went on Optic's Planet, and they have a model called the Opmod. And what that is OP stands for Optic's Planet, right? And it's a modification that they made. So basically, they're making an already great red dot sight in the Sig Sauer Romeo 5 and made it even better. The old version of the Romeo 5 had a big round battery cover for the CR2032 battery, you know, the quarter size battery that you put in there. And also, a great reason why I want the Romeo 5 is because it's one of a few only that has the Motac, which is the motion activated red dot. And also it's called Shake Awake, you know. It gives you about 50,000 hours estimated on the battery life. But even more so is that once you let the gun sit idle for 30 seconds to a minute, the red dot goes off by itself to save battery. You know, battery conservation is very important, right? And then when you're ready to grab it, you don't have to fumble around at night finding the on and off switch for the red dot. It goes on automatically. So you pick up the gun, you acquire your target, it's already on, you fire, you go back to sleep again, right? And that's what I wanted again. And I think only the Romeo 5 and some very super high-end sights have that, as well as some Halo Sun models. But pretty much most red dot sights, you need to turn on a switch, which is really inconvenient, especially if you're, you know, you need to pick up the weapon right away. So right now we're gonna unbox it for you. This came in the mail yesterday, and this is the Romeo 5X XDR. It's a 1x20mm compact red dot sight from Sig Sauer. The difference between this is it still has the motion activated, right, Shake Awake feature, which is a huge feature that I want. And then the second part of it is that instead of using the CR2032 battery, it takes a regular AAA battery. The reason why I like that idea also is because if the shit hits the fan and you're in an apocalypse or something like that, where are you gonna find a Radio Shack to find a specialized 2032 battery? But AAAs are a lot more common and much easier to find. Silica gel, and it comes in FDE color. It also comes with a 1-inch co-witness riser, which is what I like, as well as the regular mount on the Picatinny or Weaver rail. But I like the co-witness feature. Co-witness meaning that you could see both your iron sight and this at the same time. Two ways to target things. Comes with an FDE bikini rail, bikini dust cover for the lenses, which is always nice, but I'll probably never use it because how fast can you acquire a target when you hear a bump in the night if you have to remove the bikini covers, right? So this is just, I don't know, for transport or something like that, I wouldn't keep it on there. So here it is, Opmod, Optics Planet Modification in FDE color. 20mm Romeo 5X. Here's where you insert the AAA battery as opposed to a big round thing where you had to put the quarter thing in there. It has intensity levels up or down, your windage and your elevation settings over here. Really sharp. I'm gonna go get a battery, we'll put it in here, and then we'll replace this with this thing that I have right there. So I've installed it on there. It was lickety split. Put the battery in there. I put it in the wrong direction. And that's how it looks on the rifle. I always place it on the most forward part of the rail of the upper receiver without it touching the handguard because there's a connection there and you don't want it to move at all. So the eye relief is unlimited because it's a 1x. And of course, because it's a Motac, motion activated shake awake feature, the red dot is always on. You have the intensity buttons on the top, which this is the highest intensity. I now have my combo light and laser on so that you can see a green light. A green dot, I'm saying, on the bottom right of the red dot. So because that laser sight is sighted in perfectly, at least to 7 yards or 22, 23 feet, something like that, I'm gonna move the red dot to coincide with the green laser. That way I'll know that this red dot sight is pretty sighted in, or close enough. We can do some fine tuning at the range. So I'm gonna move the elevation and windage down and to the right so it matches with the green dot. Comes with one of these tools where it's a Torx to put on your sight onto the rail, as well as a top tab here where you can turn the windage and elevation. Quite a few clicks. I'm almost there. Can you imagine doing these adjustments at the range? You'll be shooting the target going, what? I'm not even hitting the target at all? I'm not even hitting the paper. Because it's way off. And you just want to get it so that you can at least hit paper. So when you're at the range, you can fine tune it. And this gives me the easiest way to do it prior to going to the range. That's why I love having that laser sight. That's pretty good. So that's a little target that I have. It's on my fence. The fence is about 25 feet away. So about 7 yards, about, give or take. I know you guys can't see it here. It's really difficult to see, but I've got the red dot perfectly aligned with the green. And I know you can't see it because I could barely see it. but the red dot is right on the green laser now, right on it. So I had to turn the intensity down so that I could see the green dot. With this red dot the way it is in its intensity, I couldn't see the green dot, so I lowered it. So now you see the red dot. Anyway, the green is right in the center. So to me, I feel that this sight is now sighted in as close as possible. So there you go. I've got my Opmod from Optic's Planet Sig Sauer Romeo 5XDR mounted and pretty much sighted in as close as possible. I wanted to also mention, don't you hate when you buy something and they don't give you batteries? You got a AAA battery here. So now this sight, you can find batteries that are very common, AAA batteries. It's got the motion activated shake awake feature so that you can just grab it and it's going to be on. And when you just leave it somewhere, it'll turn off by itself. I love the FDE color, the ease of installation and sighting in. And now I know that I can just pick this up and go to town. Thanks a lot for joining me on today's episode. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers, Blowers, and Guns.